The point of the thread was not to discourage innovation and people trying new things. I'm a big fan of people trying new things, and I'm one of those people. So I do respect Vitalik to great lengths in certain categories. My problem is uh, there's a few things I have issues with. One is that Ethereum is a is an attempt, it's an experiment with no technical backing as of yet to date. There's no proof that what they're trying to do is going to work, and so far it hasn't really worked. However, the marketing is the exact opposite, and that's my huge problem. Is that it seems that their marketing is malicious, it's misleading, and it's intentional. And I wish that they would be more transparent and more honest about that, because it's in return very damaging to the cryptocurrency space, when ushering in new users, and these users are getting burned and getting an experience that is just false advertising is my first thing. And my second thing is Ethereum, I think, is very damaging to Bitcoin in that same sense, in that they claim that the Bitcoin developer community is malicious and mean. They claim that Bitcoin is slow, that Bitcoin isn't cheap, and they really use Bitcoin to self-market themselves. And I think it's selfish, and I think it really, I mean, I myself have spent my entire adult life and career in Bitcoin, and I don't think that it's fair. And I think, people like Vitalik owe early Bitcoin developers an apology. And I think it's about time someone called him out, or maybe, it's long overdue someone called him out, but I'll put it this way. I'm not scared to call him out. So that's my, high level 2 minute summary is that I appreciate Ethereum as a project. Do I think it's working? No. Do I think that they're lying in their marketing and they're telling retail investors it's working because they got a funnel in retail somehow? Last time it was ICOs, this time it's DeFi. Yeah, I think that is happening. I think that there are people that are knowingly lying to retail investors, and in the securities industry, that's a crime. And I think that they have no problem conveniently blasting individuals in the Bitcoin space like Greg Maxwell and Bitcoin the project to their own personal gain. And I take that personally because I've dedicated my life to Bitcoin. I really, really don't appreciate that. So that was more or less my my qualms.
We'll do the uncensored version next time.
Yeah.
But explain a little bit about the misleading marketing. I think that this is a nuanced point here that when people hear that, they just kind of say, I don't really know what that means. So elaborate on that.
Yeah. Okay. So in this cryptocurrency space, trade-offs are very well defined technically. So the reason Bitcoin may appear slow, it may appear expensive, that's because it's decided to be decentralized, to be censorship resistant. So as far as I'm concerned, there has been no technological breakthrough to provide censorship resistance and a decentralized property faster and cheaper. Okay. And this is not up to debate. This is just math. And so, for example, for some blockchain or cryptocurrency project to advertise themselves, it in that realm, like, oh, we're faster and cheaper than Bitcoin. Oh, and we're also decentralized, and we're also censorship resistant. According to math, last time I read, research papers, that is a lie, bold-faced lie. And so that's just a high-level example that I think everyone can relate to. You've seen the CoinMarketCap advertisements and such. And so, or Vitalik will say things like, I don't see any difference between a light client node and a full node. I mean, that's just a bold-faced lie, or you are, dangerously idiotic on the topic. Either way, not good news. And so I guess without ranting more, that's what I mean, is that, sure, there can be blockchains that are faster and cheaper, but let's take the decentralized and censorship resistant labels off those. Do you mind? Because they can't accomplish them all. And I know that for a fact. It's just computer science. And, it would take 10 more Satoshi white papers to the level of brilliance that Satoshi delivered to deliver on all the promises of Ethereum and the other top 10 altcoins in the overall total market cap. And so that's my problem, is the computer science isn't there, but the marketing's there. and it's really misleading to innocent retail investors.
So my favorite test to run with people is all this DeFi and stuff like that that comes to be decentralized. I just asked the founders if the government came and said you had to go to jail if you don't shut it off, could you shut it off?
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, you could. Okay, then it's not decentralized, right? Like that's the whole point. Is if there's like a kill switch, it's not actually decentralized. It's not censorship resistant. It's not, you know what I mean? Like all of these examples,
Mhm.
and I think that we're now getting to the point like there's a very real argument to be made that if Ethereum was found to be a security, if Ether was found to be a security and was told to shut down, could they shut it? And I think they could.
Probably, yeah. And if the government asked for the existing supply, would they be able to answer? Probably not. It's really scary. I like to call this whole altcoin trend. I like to call it an arbitrage on the trend. And what I mean by that is altcoins, in my opinion, they're taking the arbitrage difference between the overall interest that society has in cryptocurrency, because I think at this point it's fairly intuitive that it's a massive investment opportunity and it's a technological breakthrough that should not go unnoticed. Fair enough. However, to the ability that someone can understand why it's important, how it works technically. I mean, there's a large gap between there. You're getting everyone between high school kids and 70-year-old grandparents that are opening Coinbase accounts and wanting to put money in this asset class. Do they know the difference between a full node and a light client and what it means to be sufficiently peer-to-peer and decentralized? No. So within that arbitrage opportunity, I can create Woodcoin and sell it to you. And I think, naturally markets get efficient. And so that arbitrage opportunity is going to shrink and get lower and lower and lower. And it was much easier to sell Woodcoin 10 years ago than it is today. And it's going to be much harder to sell Woodcoin 10 years from now than it is today. But I like to call it an arbitrage on the trend. And is it a good thing or a bad thing? It kind of depends on your viewpoint of, do you want a centralized party like a regulated entity like the SEC or something? Saying what should and shouldn't be allowed and what should and isn't, sufficiently decentralized? Probably not. So, is this the best way to go about making an efficient marketplace in this industry? Maybe, but it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous, and a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money, and they're innocent, and so it sucks. It sucks to see.